Yeah, I mean, the Matrix showed us a lot, bro. And now in theory, everything kind of fits to the way that movie worked. You know, the woman in the red dress, bro. You know what I mean? Like, that's a real thing that exists to us right now. Everything is the woman in the red dress that we're experiencing right now. All the stuff happening with Donald Trump and the Epstein list and all these other distractions that they keep throwing out. These are the women in the red dress to us, the distractions that they keep putting in front of us to deter our attention from the things that truly matter, right? The ability to escape the Matrix. Now that we're so connected through these devices, that everything is here, right? I saw a statistic the other day. They did a study that showed the average human being in their entire lifetime will spend 20 years of their life staring into their phones.
That's insane.
20 years of your life, bro. Imagine how much life is lost. Imagine how much less of a connection kids get to have with
that makes me so depressed.
Bro, it's disgusting because we're all guilty of it, first of all, bro. It's disgusting.
Dude, I can't even watch a Netflix show without scrolling.
20 years. Right. Welcome back to another episode of Ill Ego Culture Brands Red Tape Talk. I'm your host, John Ostos, a.k.a. Ill Ego CEO, and I'm here with my two counterparts, Dion Two Cup from New York, Larry, and Cody Big Meat Melk.
Yo.
What up, fellas?
What's going on?
Dion, you got a new cut, a new look?
Got a new cut. So I had to switch it up on you guys. You know, I haven't had this haircut since, and I used to, so I was poor, didn't have much money, and my dad's like, I'll cut you, you'll be good, you know, all the way up until middle school. I was like, fuck, you're not cutting me anymore, dude. I'll do it myself. I don't need you doing that. And so I did it for a long time, obviously just buzzed it down and edged it up as best I could. Then I started going to Great Clips, had them do the same thing, basically. Never really knew like about other hairstyles that I could do with my hair. Because there's not many black people that just have white people hair. Sure. I always tell people I got my mom's hair, but if I had my dad's hair, I wouldn't have any. So I'm happy with it. So I told Nicole, I said, I'm going to cut it down after Malcapalooza. And so we're 1 week after Malcapalooza, and I cut it down. And I actually went to TaylorMade Einer from the gym. Yep. He cut it up, did a really good job. I usually don't switch up barbers too often, but my barber is only there on weekends now. Yeah. So
it's how you know dudes are all cheaters, bro.
Yeah,
because they say women will cheat on their husbands before they cheat on their hairstylist, bro.
Yeah.
But men will get cut where we can get cut.
I don't usually. It's pretty rare. And if I didn't know him, I would have not went to him. In all fairness,
sure.
And I see all of them all there all the time, and I know they do good cuts, but I don't usually switch. That was always a tough thing for me. And like my brother used to cut hair who passed, and so that always stuck with me for like switching up barbers.
Sure.
So I don't know why, but it just is.
Loyalty is important.
It is,
bro. When I was a kid, we were also very poor, so poor that I used to, you know, I didn't always bick my head, but I used to buzz cut it all the time, like zero clip, you know, so to speak. But I didn't actually have clippers. My mom used to buzz cut my hair with scissors, bro.
That's insane.
So I was the dude that had like the really short hair, but then had like these line patches sometimes around and shit, bro. Like there's nothing I could do about it, you know?
That's crazy. I couldn't handle just edging, like when I mess up on the edge of on the front edge, I'd be so pissed. And I'm like, dude, we got to buzz it off. He would mess up, really. And then he'd be like, we could just take it all the way down, I guess. And I'd be like, I got peanut head, and so that's what they used to call me when I was. My siblings were always the most mean to me. Never my friends. My siblings would call me.
Yeah,
peanut
siblings
head.
are the worst, bro.
It's crazy. I've never had worse friends. I used to have a blanket that I loved. I always do. I have a blanket that I love now.
Oh, you got a little blankie?
Mm-hmm.
That's what's up.
And they used to hide it. They would try and they put hot sauce on it one time so I wouldn't touch it. I used to suck my thumb too. So they put hot sauce on it, and then they put hot sauce on my thumb while I'm sleeping. Stuff like that. Just like crazy stuff that it has nothing to do with them. It doesn't affect them at all. But they're like, I don't want to see you comfortable, bro. Like that was all it was.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, you were the little brother. You were easy to pick on.
I guess.
Yeah.
I guess.
Easy target.
It was a good time. So, but yeah, shout out Einer for the haircut. That
is
fire,
good, bro. I like it.
Thank you.
Changed your race.
Yeah. No, I'm not Arab no more.
Puerto Rican.
I'll take that. I'll take either of them really, but
Moreno.
yeah.
So, John, I know you want to try to avoid the political talk here, but I got to bring this up. So this stems off of Dalton's post. It says the House voted 422-6 against the $500 million cut to Israel aid proposed by Rep. Green.
So didn't that come out like a week and a half ago too? I feel like we posted that
recently.
a long time ago.
It was recently. Like it was just like within a week.
Okay. Because
we posted that.
I feel like you sent it when it first happened too.
It's not a surprise though.
Yeah.
You know?
So let me just preface this. I asked Grok this just from something that I knew. And Grok, of course, takes information across all of the internet and it summarizes it, right? So just bear with me. I asked him, what are the Five Eyes? The Five Eyes is an intelligence alliance comprising of Australia, Canada, New Zealand, the United Kingdom, and the United States. It originated in 1946 with the UK-USA agreement formalized after World War II to share signals intelligence. Among these English-speaking nations, the alliance expanded to include Canada in 1948 and Australia and New Zealand in 1956. It facilitates extensive cooperation in collecting, analyzing, and sharing intelligence, including military intelligence, human intelligence, geospatial intelligence, primarily through agencies like NSA, so on and so forth. The Five Eyes is known for its secrecy and comprehensive surveillance capabilities, such as the Echelon system. Very, very in-depth with intelligence, right? So then I said, why isn't Israel a part of it if they are our greatest ally? The question of why Israel is not a part of the Five Eyes Intelligence Alliance, despite being referred to as a close ally of the United States, is rooted in historical, strategic, operational factors. The Five Eyes consist of blah, 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 bound by the UK agreement and a shared Anglo-Saxon cultural and linguistic heritage. Here's an explanation. So historical and cultural. The Five Eyes Alliance emerged from post-World War II, specifically in the agreement built on deep trust and shared history among English-speaking nations with common legal and cultural traditions. Israel, established in 1948, lacks the historical alignment and operates in a distinct geopolitical context in the Middle East, which differs from the Anglo-centric framework of the Five Eyes. Geopolitical sensitivities. Israel's location in the volatile region and its complex relationships with neighboring countries create a unique intelligence priorities that may not always align with the Five Eye global focus. Including Israel could complicate the alliance's operations, especially given the sensitivities around Middle Eastern politics and the need for neutrality in certain intelligence sharing contexts. Security and trust concerns. While Israel is a close ally, the Five Eyes require an extraordinary level of trust and integration, including shared across to sensitive systems like signals intelligence. Historical incidents such as the 1985 Jonathan Pollard espionage case, where an American intelligence analyst spied for Israel, have raised concerns about the risks of deeper intelligence integration. Such events through definitive contribute to caution about expanding the alliance. And then there's a couple other bullet points, but we just recently watched Mike Waltz get fired from his position because he was texting on his Signal chat in regards to Israel, sending all their stuff to Israel.
Mm-hmm.
But yet we're sending all of this money over and over again to this country that we don't trust enough to be in the Five Eye, but they're supposedly our greatest ally.
Right. So what's the move?
What the fuck are we doing?
Yeah,
what are we doing?
Everything's confusing right now, bro.
But you have the whole government is on board with this. Yeah. And we have no idea why. If they would just come out and say, guys, Israel is our greatest ally because of X, Y, and Z.
That's what I was saying forever, and you kept calling me an anti-Semite.
Yeah, you switched up hard, dude.
It's crazy. I
you brought this up too.
No, I agreed with you.
Called me an anti-Semite.
I said yes. If we got a logical explanation, that would help.
We're gonna put a clip together,
dude.
We'll clip it together.
I'm gonna throw one on this. We're gonna do a little flashback series on this, bro.
Yeah. Put it together, slam it down, shut it down.
We're doing it.
But yeah, I thought that was an interesting point because it's just like clearly they know that they're trying to still spy on us.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, I think we're very well aware. Look, the United States isn't dumb when it comes to our intelligence. I've believed the entire time, all the way back to like 2016, honestly, we only act dumb. Our government is just pretending to be dumb. The whole Biden administration, all that, they obviously knew all that shit was a train wreck, bro. As us average citizens were watching it unfold and going, how in the fuck is any of this real? How is all these rules and these regulations and these policies and this protection and this, silencing and fucking all the stuff that was going on, the censoring, bro. Everything seemed so out of whack and so unreal. Like it was blowing my mind. We're not that stupid when it comes to, our government. They're extraordinarily intelligent. They're very well informed. And I believe that we are one of the world's superpowers who have tons of information on everybody. That's why I keep saying, what is really the play here with Israel? Do you
think that it's keep your enemies close or keep your friends close?
Yes, I think that's part of it. But why do we have to fit the bill?
I just feel like it might be individuals' best.
You know what
interest.
I mean? Like, why are we fitting the bill for that? That doesn't make sense.
I'm just wondering because, like, of the Samson option.
Yeah, I've heard that theory too, and maybe there's some truth to it. But Israel is turning on Netanyahu too, so that doesn't make sense. Does Netanyahu have the authority over everyone in Israel to say we're going to do this or not, and they just have to let him push the button? Or, you know what I mean? There's got to be something more deeply rooted here that they aren't letting us know for obvious reasons, but it's hard to believe in that and have some comfort in that because it's bad.
Their claim to fame here is we have to have a foothold in the Middle East because of Iran.
Blah, blah.
But then Iran, like their Air Force gets wiped out in a day.
Yeah, and then
they didn't have nothing.
They rebuild it in 3 years, 4 years.
So if Iran's the biggest threat over there, what are we talking about?
Yeah,
like their equipment is so outdated that they don't have shit. And so, like, I'm so confused on,
especially when you have an Iron Dome that's supposedly so fantastic.
Well, it only works when they want it to, though.
Yeah.
When they want to like destroy their own people, it doesn't work all of a sudden.
Yeah. No,
this is why I want out of the politics right now, is because I know behind the scenes we're constantly sharing and talking, but we're trying to figure things out. I don't like getting on here and taking a stance and then feeling like a dumbass later because the people that we believe truthfully have our best interests at hand and are really, doing what we want more than anything. It's not about worshiping a single person. It's about loving this country, bro, and wanting this country to be true to its roots. But now I'm starting to think that even the roots are bad, bro.
But you know what, though? Like, the main thing that I hate the most is that they continue to try and bring new things, like new important things to light and try and distract us from the other things. And it's like, we don't want, no one cares anymore. No, they don't.
It's a done deal. I don't give a damn about the 200,000+ pages of MLK information that they just released, bro. They did this on purpose. How are we going to gather that information, bro? And how are we ever going to read 200,000+ pages of MLK documents, bro, from the CIA to make any sense of it?
Well, that's crazy. Yeah, it's 200,000 pages.
Yes, well, that's how long they were. But this is how I summarize it, right? 200,000 pages of documentation from the CIA on Martin Luther King Jr. tells me one thing, and that's all that I need to know.
They lied to us.
No, he wasn't who he's supposed to be, and they were watching him very closely for a bunch of reasons beyond, just political theater, bro. Like the whole relationship with blacks and whites getting along was a bad thing. They say that what did they say? He was a threat to democracy with the way he was doing things. No, he was a threat to making things right, possibly. But he was also a shitty person from what it appears, right? Like he wasn't this super dope, reverend guy that everyone thought he was. He had a bunch of skeletons in the closet.
He liked to clap cheeks, dude.
He liked to clap cheeks. He liked to, fornicate. He liked to get wasted, all those things.
Who doesn't?
Hey, I agree, but when you're culturally trying to change things and say stuff, you can't be behind the scenes somebody that you truly aren't while you're trying to, because it's too easy to tear that apart, right?
Exactly.
Oh, that guy's not who they said he was after all, so he's a fake too. He's just like the rest of them. So nothing's ever going to change, right? Because culture's going to be like, oh yeah, yep, he's not a real one.
Yeah.
And we're just going to keep doing what we're doing then because that guy was a fraud. In culture, we give more love to Malcolm X, who was the rebellious right in your face guy. Like, here's who I am truthfully, but this is where I stand politically and about the things going on in society. He was transparent, at least from what we could tell. Martin Luther King Jr. put on the top hat and played a role of somebody that he truly wasn't. And that's where people won't ever follow that lead, bro. It's different.
Yeah, it's super interesting. And then Obama, which obviously that's super interesting. That's one that'll catch you. It'll catch you. But are they going to take down Obama this year? They're not going to take Obama down in the next couple months. No,
they're not going to do nothing about it. With all the stuff coming out on the Clintons too right now, and Obama and all, they aren't going to do anything. It's political theater.
This morning,
political theater is to shut us up.
This morning, when I was drinking my coffee, that was another thing with
Malcolm Palooza.
I was watching Fox News, and Trey Gowdy was on there, and he was talking about his the congressional hearing when John Brennan, who was the former CIA director, he was testifying in front of Congress in 2017. Trey Gowdy said that they knew he was lying to Congress back then, but didn't do a damn thing about it.
Yep.
They knew back then that he was lying.
Yep. The problem with our government is everyone is compromised, and so people are willing to turn the cheek, bro.
Exactly.
Because they're like, well, I don't want to make waves because I got a lot of shit, dirt too, that they can't come after me for.
And it's just going to wash over for them backtracking too. It doesn't matter. Like no one's going to hold them accountable for doing that.
Even Trump went and visited Fort Knox. Was it?
No,
not Fort Knox.
Why can't Alcatraz?
No,
the Florida one.
The Fed, the Federal Reserve. He went there today and made this big old thing, and like, it's all theater to me, though, bro. I'm just like, get out of here. Like, no one. Now you're gonna. He's perfectly going after everything that we were complaining about him not doing anything about to kind of deter from the Epstein shit, bro.
Yeah, man.
And I'm just over it, man. I'm over it.
I think it might just be. I get he was like almost assassinated 2 times and shit. Like, I think it might just be cementing his legacy of all time. He's not going to go down as like the best president of all time, but
not anymore.
He would have. He'll be a pretty cool story.
He would have gone down as that dude, but he's not now. In fact, I think more people, because you're seeing it come up again, and they're kind of showing you new footage and new stuff. I think more people have turned on him now and are questioning whether that was real. I'm seeing that all over. Stuff? No, the shooting.
Oh,
the attempted assassination of Trump. So many. I mean, bro, we don't know jack shit.
We don't know
what. How does Trump have that happen to him at the level that it happened and the theater that it displayed? And
2 times, and
he's just like,
months.
and he's just like, whatever. Let's move on. We got things to do. Like, no, you need to find out who the hell that was, what went down, and why,
and who's behind.
But instead, it's just real hush, which leaves it wide open for any of us to believe in the idea that maybe it was rigged, maybe it was pretend, bro. Because now they're showing video of that guy that was ushering the media to the front to get the perfect shot amidst all this chaos. They're talking about the fake Secret Service people and how stupid they look, and the protocol that they were using to protect him didn't look realistic according to train. Like, there's so many holes now in it because our minds are open to seeing it that way now. Not because it's true necessarily, but because we're turning on him. Our minds are opening up to the idea, and so
maybe
they can bring this stuff and show us, and we can see it differently in a different light now, bro. It's crazy. I feel like a non-binary leftist right now, bro.
Yeah,
I can see the green hair growing out.
Yeah,
bro. I just don't. I can't care. I gotta not care because it just gives me so much.
That's where I'm at. I just don't want to care, bro. I just want to navigate my life according to the pieces put in front of me, bro, and not try to get so into the politics, because I still believe we were on the right side when we casted our votes and when we were standing against the Biden administration, everybody. But Trump has clearly been compromised, was always compromised, and been playing us from the beginning. He did a damn good job, and until he proves otherwise, and very strongly proves it, bro, that's where I stand.
I'm gonna go ahead and say I'll put $100 on I'll put even $1,000 on a Donald Trump autobiography.
Oh, of course. Who's gonna take that?
That's gonna be amazing.
Who already has 2 books?
Like, I'm talking after this presidency.
Yeah, but who wouldn't
going down?
Who wouldn't agree with you on that? That would be dumb.
Yeah, right?
Chase, maybe, I guess.
Like yeah,
Chase.
take a G from
He
him
loves
then,
Betty,
bro. Yeah.
dude.
Get a band, homie. Fuck
Dude. There's so much to talk about. And then
Yeah.
the Hunter Biden interview and stuff,
Oh,
dude. It's
God.
just whatever.
It is. There's a lot to talk about, but I don't want to,
Yeah.
man. I really think it's
That
just
guy's
all
such a
theater.
dork,
Did
dude.
you guys watch any of it?
Yes,
I
I
did.
did. And I think it's all theater, bro.
He's-
It's a bunch of
he's just a
crap.
crack.
He is literally a crackhead.
But who said it was a good idea for him to take the grandstand and start doing this shit, bro, all of a sudden?
Nobody.
That
But
guy-
has he ever done anything that he should?
I don't know. It's
I
just
mean, he's
weird.
the one that less cocaine in the White House.
Yeah.
And then the other one is the Nelk Boys Netanyahu
Yeah.
interview.
Yeah,
I didn't watch
scripted.
any of that. Scripted.
Bro, they're
Scripted.
getting
Scripted.
eaten alive
Oh,
for
yeah.
that right
I
now,
wa-
too,
I
by
wa-
their base.
Yeah.
That was so
No, for
stupid.
sure.
Yep.
Dumb. It was so
Yep.
dumb, especially
So
with
stupid.
everybody like turning their back on Trump a little bit
Yeah.
too.
Yep.
Like to do that was just really poor timing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it was scripted, but we tried to ask questions that yeah, right, bro. You guys have probably 10 guys in that room outside of you
Now
guys.
we know where their money came from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. And then when like that clip from Netanyahu, sorry, I gotta say it because it was just it circled the media.
All right, but no
Netanyahu-
more than 25 minutes of this
Talking
shit.
Yeah.
Talking about the censorship.
talking about censorship when he's literally censoring them at that
At
moment.
the moment.
Yeah.
That's insane. And he's like making it he's like, that's what America is? I thought this was freedom. I thought you could do whatever you want as he's making them go off of a
Scripted.
script.
Yeah.
Dude, fuck you.
Yup.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yup.
Yeah.
Like I said, bro, theater. All
That
of
is
it. It's
insane.
all fucking
That
theater.
made them look like asses.
It made them look
Yeah.
like real asses, and they know it. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, if you understand business for them, I don't blame them.
Yeah.
It's
you know?
they still got 2+ million views on the video.
I don't
Hey,
blame 'em.
okay, but let's take a little turn on this. If Netanyahu called us, said, "I'll come on your podcast, but you got to do it my way, and I'll make sure you're paid." Would we say
couldn't-
no?
If we
Will we
got
say
paid,
no?
Wait, how much money we
Are we
talking?
getting-
I mean, listen, how much money do you think he offered the Nelk Boys? You know what I
Probably
mean?
A good
$1.2
amount.
A
million.
grip, right? If he came and said, "Hey, I'll do your podcast. I just need you to do it this way, but don't worry, you'll be well compensated."
he won't share that shit, just like Poetic Flacco, dude. We'll be all right.
True.
I'll do it.
Look, bro.
But bro,
Okay, all right, okay, all right.
Nah, wait, this is wrong. We
Yeah.
gotta cut this out.
No, we don't.
We ain't
Fuck
cut
that guy.
shit out,
He
dude.
didn't honor his deal with us
He
for
did
the
not.
podcast. So,
It was sad.
yeah. Anyway, well, let's transition. So, Poetic Flacco. Oh, I saw on the way in. I don't know if you know this. What went down, but Glorilla just got arrested for like some drug charges, like really bad felony drug charges.
Shit.
I don't know what for though. I just seen it.
She's kind of a baddie.
No, she's not. Have you
She's-
seen her without her
her
makeup,
eyes are
bro?
like-
She looks like a fucking gorilla.
That's why
Like,
she got her
literally.
name.
She looks ugly. She's
know,
the ugliest
who did I
female
say
I've
look
ever
good?
seen
Cardi
without
B.
makeup.
I said Cardi B look good. See, now he's caught. We caught him. Look her up.
Yeah. We got to show you what she looks like without makeup.
Come
now, Cody.
on.
If you like her,
Bro, you're
not
gonna
her,
die.
How's
dude,
the bod look?
You're gonna
done.
die.
How's the bod
homie.
look?
No way.
You should have at least said like sexy red looks okay.
No.
She's better than
Absolutely
Glorilla.
Yeah, but she's ugly as fuck too, bro. Come on,
What?
come on.
That's
What?
not real.
Come on.
not
Yes,
real.
it
That's
is.
not real.
That's
dude.
not real, dude. That's
that
not real.
motherfucker
That's
right
the middle
there
of her
is not
makeup
real.
transition.
That is
bro.
not real.
She's
That's real.
ugly.
That's
This is
real.
makeup
That's
though.
real. No, it ain't.
Yes, it is. She's
That's
wearing
natural.
makeup.
bro.
She's a natural.
She is not.
What
I
is
just don't like
this?
her eyes.
What
That's
is
all
this?
it is, bro.
She's bro.
She looks like Sid the Sloth, though. In all fairness,
And the way she talks pisses me off so bad, bro. You want
like
to talk
the
about?
Memphis?
You want to talk about forcefully speaking that way?
Oh, maybe I was thinking of
Merzik? You don't like listening to Merzik?
I was
Nah.
thinking of Saweetie.
Oh, that's a whole different story, dude.
Yeah, Saweetie's different, and Meg the Stallion different. She looks good without makeup at least.
I don't
bro.
like her butt though. It's so gross.
All those BBLs are
Yeah.
fucking fraudulent. I don't like that.
Yeah, and she lied too.
Yeah.
She got shot, bro. Like, get out of here.
She didn't get shot by the person that's
didn't
doing
get shot.
time though.
She didn't even get
Yeah.
shot. I don't think.
And then he
honestly,
almost
bro.
got murdered in prison
Got
as a
stabbed
result, bro.
12
Come on,
times or
bro.
whatever.
Is he gonna sue?
I don't
The
know.
guy who
he has to
stabbed
be able to
him?
prove it. No, that was on some gang
that-
I was
shit.
gonna say.
She accused Tory
Tory Lanez.
Yep.
that of shooting her, right?
Yeah.
In the foot.
Which turned out to be false.
we don't know.
No, he was
has
convicted
no
for
proof.
doing it, so
That's-
it
I thought
hasn't
it-
turned
I
out
thought
to
it-
be false
what?
yet. It's a theory.
Oh,
He wants a retrial or something.
Oh, I thought it was like factual.
So
Okay.
so let's transition then off of music. You guys already know my opinion on the rap game today. Dion, you kind of relate. It's bad.
Yeah. Well,
So
Yeah.
for forever, Double XL magazine has always
This
done
is
the
funny.
freshman ciphers where it's all the new up and coming dudes and whatnot. This shit made me so sick, bro, because not a single.
This is terrible.
I mean, this is how, when I say they're dumbing down music, bro, like this is
worse than Sexy Red.
Oh, bro,
Yes.
just watch.
My
Now,
nephew
I'm not
could make
gonna
this
do
music.
every single one of them, but I am gonna go through all of them, but we're not gonna listen to the whole thing because you don't have to get the hint.
Yeah.
It's bad, bro. But so just check this shit out. Let's see here. It's fucking.
It was a really good
Say I ain't
marketing
top
ploy,
3 in
by
the
the
racks
way.
and your ass must be smoking dick. I'ma kill you. Then when they tell me you died, I'ma act like I ain't even
They
know
can
that
even write
shit.
the beat.
Come to your funeral, catch your OG crying, run up and choke that bitch. Come by your casket laughing, then I'ma all on that bitch. Fuck the next they say anything, I'm 14, 15, and 16. I'm 17, 18, 19, 20. Young, but the hoe still showed me the titties. I like my shit slim and pretty. Back be tall, but I still get jiggy. I told her, go ask about me, I'm not that guy. Most these grown ass men act cool online, but they actually act like dots. Bitch, you know you wrong, so don't just sit there and act like something's not.
no.
You don't need knee rick-ons or jewelry or cars, just go and get right
that's
with
your
God.
guys,
It was
dude.
just me and my
You
laptop
did
thugging till
this.
everybody else came asking for guap.
You's a bitch, like your po ass fucking daddy. Well, my pockets way too swole, them bitches punching and they smacking. I'm riding on Fort Auto, 4 round cannon, paint the caddy.
Okay.
I ain't talking about pills, bitch, but let me buy that fucking addy. I got served. I give a rat the rub rat. I give a rat the rub rat. I give a rat the cheek.
Oh, no.
I pass a right to Ian,
This is
bitch. I smoke the rest some
embarrassing,
key.
bro.
I smoke
This
you
makes
like
me
a
wanna
leaf.
drop a
I
new
smoke you like
album.
I told the bitch to suck my dick and get inside my breast. I told
That
the
looks like
bitch
Cam
to take
Ward,
her out, don't want to
the
use your
quarterback.
teeth. I told
They biting, backyard swinging, dice we swiping. Everybody having blick, we piped up. Nigga run my way, go the other way. Supreme dripping, my
This
drip
is
strong.
the
Headshot,
freshman
no, shooting
freestyle
butter
for
round.
names
Double
are terrible
XL.
too now.
Satisfaction
Laser
women, none
Dim
get killed on
700.
vacation.
Made the double XL. Know some people who
This
want
guy
me to
looks
lose.
like Cam
I
Ward,
bet in. I need my
the
money by the
Titans'
night.
new quarterback.
First wrist B2B stupid.
Oh God.
The left wrist stupid. The right wrist stupid. I'm alright now, but me and Chief, we been made cooler.
Ian.
Come on, like this is bad, bro. This is, and I'm an authority to be in this subject here, bro. This is embarrassing. This is not hip hop. There's nothing talented or gifted. These are people who are intentionally being made famous to dumb down the fucking culture and make everybody within the hood and all the white, America fucking white boys and all that shit just act ignorant and stupid as fuck and all think they have a chance to make it. These people are richer than they've ever been in the rap game, bro. And they're the worst fucking talent I've ever seen, man.
This is terrible.
It's embarrassing. Like I'm shocked because Double XL used to have such a reputation. They
And
were
these were
they were the
big.
guys that used to issue 5 mics for records and everything. They were credible. And now it's just like, what are you guys doing? You can't honestly tell me you're just riding the wave and acting like these dudes are good and not just being like, hey, this is the new freshman freestyle, but this shit's garbage.
Yeah.
Like, how are we not saying that out loud, bro?
Got to start.
There's
Yes.
a show on Netflix that they were doing. I don't know if they're still doing it, but it was similar to the Cypher. It's been like T.I. for the most part is usually one of the guests, and then he's had a few a lady judge. I know Big Sean was on it, and they're like the panel judges. Basically, people come out and rap. And they judge, and then everyone gets picked to go to the next round, and they battle each other, stuff like that. It's a very good show on Netflix. I would recommend watching like the first season or something, a couple episodes. But they need to do that and get rid of the Double XL. That's crazy.
Yeah,
this is awful.
That is just, I couldn't believe it, man. I could not believe that was real.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, there's no way these are the new up and comers.
And I think
It's no wonder why 49 and 50-plus-year-old rappers are still making it today, bro. They should be completely phased out right now, but they're still better than this at least.
for sure.
So
for
that's
sure.
bad, man.
No,
That's bad.
it's tough. Like all that new rap, like that's supposed to be popular, is not good. Like,
No, man.
I like rap today. I like when new songs drop, but not like the
I'm
people
always
that are
intrigued when new music drops.
Yeah.
I want to get on it. Like your lookalike right now, Joyner Lucas. I like his shit, bro. You know what I mean? It's fire.
Yeah.
But he's a spitter. He's
Yep.
talented. He's lyrical. He actually rhymes and he can stay on beat. You know what I mean? He can harmonize. He can do hooks.
He's telling a story too.
Yes, these guys can't do that.
Yeah.
They can't freestyle. How they're even getting a freestyle debut blows my mind. At least find dudes who can literally freestyle.
It is kind of weird though, because you have to think this is a direct correlation to drill music becoming so popular. It's creating rap
I
into
think it's-
just drill music. That's all it is.
It's a perfect example though that people are being made famous and certain styles of music are being made popular.
Yeah.
Not because they are, but because we're such an impressionable society, especially the younger generation. They'll just put radio play on anyone they choose and tell you this person's good and they're famous, and because Drake will do a feature with them and Future will do a feature with them, all of a sudden everyone buys it, bro.
Yeah.
Like even Justin Bieber, bro, with all his issues, he's talented as fuck.
Yeah.
But he's hanging out with Sexy Red and making music with her, acting like she's talented.
Red.
She's not talented, bro.
Yeah.
How do these people just overlook that stuff and pretend, bro? They're not talented people. How the rest of the industry falls in line, I think it's because they're either they're compromised or they're afraid to lose their fame to these people, and so they just, if you can't beat them, join them type shit, right?
And especially with
I
people
could
like
never.
that,
I could never.
you think about it, after they get their one-hit wonder, they're not even writing their music anymore.
No.
Somebody else is writing their
Somebody
music.
else is writing it that bad.
Yeah.
That's what's crazy.
That is crazy.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes. I mean, for fuck's sake, bro, go on ChatGPT and tell
Make
ChatGPT
your
to
song.
write you a fucking verse.
Mhm.
At least that. I bet it'd be good.
It is.
You know what I mean? I bet it would be
It is.
decent. It's crazy, man.
It is pretty crazy. Like, I don't know what else they want to do, but there are always those good rappers that stay steady and they keep doing their thing. And
When
that's
I was-
what's important.
I don't think this is gonna survive.
When I was
it's
doing
gonna
music,
change.
I used to fantasize about being featured in XXL magazine or on a XXL, like, you know, freshman feature. Bro, I'm so glad I'm never to be associated with this crap.
I
you
think
know?
that if they don't adapt, they're gonna get phased out by AI
Oh, yeah.
rappers.
Oh, I told you guys about Timbaland. He has an AI artist that he released. So he's producing, and then AI, he created a character for AI and he's making music. She dropped her first song and
I've
everything.
seen a couple of bands now that are AI.
It's
that are
crazy.
exploding on
Honestly,
the charts.
we should get together and just watch like the different ciphers. Like,
We should.
just go back like
Historically to now, like
Yeah.
do a timeline
and
one.
just see how
that would
how
be
rap
pretty
music
far.
changed. That would be a good time.
Let's just show it in a timeline of how bad it's devolved.
Yeah, because I'm just thinking back to like when Trippie Redd and XXX Tentacion
Yeah.
and stuff. Those guys could spit, but they didn't. They were more or less doing what was mainstream.
Well, they can't freestyle. That's the biggest thing.
Some of them could, like X could freestyle,
Really?
which is crazy. Yeah, he could
I never
freestyle
listened to
pretty
any of these.
decent.
You're talking about Triple X.
Triple X,
Yeah, yeah.
yep. And then Juice WRLD could freestyle. He's one of the.
See, I heard that he was a good freestyler, but I never
Yeah.
seen it. Who was the dude that was? I don't think he raps anymore. He was one of the first like goofy dudes like this. Name a couple dudes from back.
Have you heard of Corday?
Yeah, I Corday can spit.
He's not really-
He's not that bad, bro. He actually can spit a little bit. But it wasn't Corday. It was like he was like one of these, you know,
like yelling emo
auto
guys or
tunes
no?
rapper guys, and he was like saying that he doesn't have to freestyle, and he like made it in a whole embarrassing video one time.
Lil Yachty can't.
Little
freestyle.
Yachty, that's who it was.
He's terrible at
Little
it.
Yachty. Yep.
He does it and he's terrible.
Yeah,
It's like
that's who it was. Little Yachty.
He got famous off of looking goofy.
Yeah, but broccoli is a sick fucking jam.
Is that by Little Yachty?
Yeah.
Fucking Cody. You would. Anyway, that was my little tidbit. I saw that. I'm like, I got to bring this up on the pod because
Have you
fuck
heard
that.
their no beat, like where it's just them? That's what went popular right away when they dropped it. So
They did like an acapella freestyle
Yep.
or what? Oh.
Yeah, and Ian has a really good
We
one.
used to, bro. We
I'm gonna
used to
send it to you. So you
we
can
used to
play
do
it.
that in our shows all the time. Like when we would, you know, rock shows, we would always do like a acapella like session in the middle of it where we would just bust a dope ass like acapella freestyle. But we had like, you know, climaxes and intention and like drops and stuff, you know, where we would flip and switch it back and forth, and like we made it entertaining. But it was always so dope to do an acapella because that's when people had to listen to you raw and really take heed to what you were saying. So it was our opportunity to really like get crazy with our lyricism and, you know, use entendres and metaphors, and just people be like, oh shit, you know. Nowadays, they do it because they can't write a beat.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with wanting to show off their skill set vocally by itself. It's because they literally can't rhyme to a beat. That's not freestyle anymore, man.
Right.
It's sad.
I'm gonna find this for you, but you could probably move on. Oh no, it'll be quick.
Nah.
Go ahead and play that one quick.
Hey, that Ian dude's in here again, too. That
This
was
is
just
the.
on this
I
last
think
one.
it's only him on this
Okay.
one.
Let's check it out.
It's getting hot in here. Take off all your clothes. Damn, I'm feeling like 50 Cent. Bitch, I'm in the club. Damn, I'm on my Britney shit. Oops, I hit again. Damn, I'm on my DJ Khaled shit. We the best. Damn, we rolling hella deep. I feel like Adele. Damn, kiss me through the phone. Suck me through the cell. Damn, I'm a little too high for this. Jesus, take the wheel.
You literally.
Oh my
He
god.
just took songs and put them together. That's it.
Oh my
He
god.
didn't make any words. He made no words up. Those are all just song names.
Yeah.
Like that's it.
I know.
That's crazy. People were commenting on it. They're like, "He's just too ahead of your guys' time. You don't
Yeah.
understand."
Oh, really?
Okay, you're right.
They were making jokes.
That's facts.
Everybody was making so much fun of him. It was crazy. Like
All of them. 100% of the dudes that we just watched on that thing
all of them are terrible.
garbage, bro.
Yeah.
Garbage. If I ever catch my kids listening to them, I'm gonna whoop ass, bro.
Yeah.
they're
I'm
gonna be
taking the
listening
belt.
to Ian. I don't know.
No way. My kids aren't that stupid, bro. Luckily, they were raised by me.
Yeah.
They know better. They listen to some dumb stuff, but not that dumb. You know what I mean? They just listen to stuff where I'm like, I don't get it, you know. But I'm not going like, what the fuck is this? Like this shit blew my mind, bro. I was like, what in the hell is this crap? There's no way this is the XXL freshman freestyle, but it is.
Damn.
So that's sad.
That is sad.
Well, let's get on a more serious note. We got a lot of shit to talk about. One of the first things we wanted to jump into is the Idaho 4. There's some new developments. The sentencing just happened and whatnot here the other day. So let's jump into this real quick and kind of get caught up. So after nearly 3 years of waiting, 4 life sentences have been handed down. Families finally confronted the man who took their loved ones, but with no motive and no remorse, many are still left asking, what's next? So on the 23rd of July, he had his sentencing. Brian, is it Kohlberger?
Kohlberger.
Received 4 consecutive life sentences without parole, plus 10 years for burglary, along with a $270,000 fine in civil damages. The plea deal he accepted earlier in July spared him the death penalty and included a waiver of appeal rights. Surviving roommates, Dylan Mortensen and Bethany Funk, spoke or had statements read in court describing deep trauma, panic attacks, survivor's guilt, and anger. Mortensen described Kohlberger as a hollow vessel devoid of empathy. Family members of the victims addressed Kohlberger directly as well. Kaylee's father said, "Nobody cares about you. You will be nothing but 2 initials." The sister, Olivia, called him a delusional, pathetic, hypochondriac loser. And contrastingly, Xana's aunt offered forgiveness, inviting him to explain himself. Judge Stephen Hippler delivered an emotional rebuke, calling Kohlberger a faceless coward, stating the case had lasted too long and declaring it's time to end his 15 minutes of fame. Kohlberger declined to speak, offering no motive or remorse.
That's crazy.
Some unanswered questions and red tape themes. Motive remains undisclosed. Investigators, prosecutors, and the court confirmed they still don't know why Kohlberger targeted the victims. Delays replaced by the plea deal. The missing trial leaves discovery sealed, and many believe further documents may reveal more, but redacted or withheld for now. So, with justice in prison terms served, can families ever find closure if they don't know why? I think 100% no. Like this guy got off easy, bro. Does Kohlberger's silence and plea deal feel like the system prioritizing expedience over truth? Is there a risk that real answers will remain buried under legal maneuvering and sealed discovery? And what does the absence of a motive say about our expectation for closure in such horrific crimes? So Brian Kohlberger is now locked away. 4 life sentences, no possibility of parole, yet the questions linger. Why did he do it? Who else might know? And until that information is out, justice may have a sentence, but not a name. So one of the first things I didn't know much about this story. I haven't followed it. I didn't get a chance to check out any documentary on it. But coincidentally, I caught the live of his sentencing and I listened to some of that. And as much as I truly empathize with the families and the people wanting to say something to him, I felt like it was completely pointless. This guy is cold-hearted, faceless, emotionless. They were just talking to him, trying to demean him, trying to tell him he's a loser, trying to tell him he was unsuccessful at being this great criminal, that he taught criminal justice and failed. Like they were just trying to dig into him, and he was just staring at them straight-laced, bro. And I just thought to myself, like, this is dumb. There was a family that chose not of the boy that chose not to go and do this. And what
Honestly,
do they
though,
call it? An
I don't
injunction
blame
or
them,
something?
'cause I would
No,
want-
I'm with them,
You
bro.
want a pound of flesh.
Yeah, I'm
You know
with
what I
them.
mean?
Like, it's such a waste of breath to speak
know.
to someone who has no heart or soul, bro.
I would probably try to climb over the
100%,
table.
100%, 100%. I would definitely wouldn't sit there and argue to somebody who's not even going to tell us what happened and why. You know, like
You could
yes.
tell by looking at him that he's a
He don't give
soulless
a
vessel,
shit.
dude.
He didn't
So,
give a shit, bro.
I was listening to a podcast and they were saying that there was rumors that his defense was going to use that he was autistic, and that's
Or
why.
insane. Yeah, I mean that's the go-to.
There's a lot of conspiracy theories floating around right now too about, there's deeper plots involved here, and there's some kind of involvement in it's just super weird, bro. I don't even want to get into it, but it's like
I did watch like the Fox News or a documentary from Fox News, just the first part, and then I listened to a full podcast explaining kind of what happened and how it may have occurred, basically. But it is pretty concerning to not know what happened and why he chose those people or that house. It doesn't really make any sense.
Let's go through it. So Brian Kohlberger grew up in some town in Pennsylvania. Supposedly he was a fat kid that got picked on. And I guess like he got picked on his junior year, came back his senior year, lost all the weight, and then turned into a bully himself. Then he went to college on the Northwest coast somewhere, studied criminology. So he's got his master's degree in criminology with a minor in psychology, I believe it was. And he was studying at this Washington University to get his PhD in criminology. He's working as a teacher's assistant in the criminology course. Okay, so keep that in mind. He knows they talk about all of the serial killers and stuff that are famous in criminology. They talk about all that stuff, right, when they're studying. So the night that this happened,
this podcast talked about how he actually was against, he was vocally telling women they should be in the kitchen and they're homemakers and that he shouldn't be.
Okay, I didn't hear any of that. That's interesting.
Yeah, and so he got fired as the teacher's assistant, is what they said.
No, I don't think he did.
That's what they said. I saw he was warned multiple times and then eventually let go as a teacher's assistant.
That's the first I heard of that.
But they explained that his mental wasn't right at that time.
No, that can't be right because people in the class noticed a significant difference after the murders happened. Okay. So the interesting thing was he was writing a thesis for his course, and he put out a questionnaire on Reddit, and he wanted to ask somebody that is convicted of murder or serial killer or whatever it was, how did it make you feel? Did you stalk your victims before you killed them? And all these different questions.
Yeah, one of the statements
killers.
of the victim's family, she used that on him.
Yeah.
She reversed that on him, and he was just blank staring at her.
Yeah.
But he did get an awkward move when she hit him with that stuff, because it was almost like he recognized what she was doing. She was using his material on him in question to what he's done now. Because what you're talking about, he did that, and the girl used that against him. It was just like, did you stalk them? Did you handpick? She went on this whole thing, wrote down, basically broke his whole shit down that he asked on
the Reddit.
Yeah, on the Reddit thing. So that was kind of interesting, and that was the only thing that seemed to have gotten his attention.
Yeah,
that was the only thing though, and it was because he realized she's using his material on him.
It was interesting.
Yeah.
So that is a point though, because if this night that this happened, it's almost like he was getting ready for this for a while.
Yeah.
And it turns out that he was his car was going back and forth from this place. No.
Oh, over time.
I'm talking about months.
Yeah.
He was going and encasing the place, right? So then in the night in question, so Maddie and Kaylee, they went out to a party or went to a bar and were drinking, obviously. And then Ethan and Xana, they were at a frat house, and Ethan and Xana went home at 1:30.
Yep.
All right, and went to bed. And then Kaylee and Madison went home at 1:45. Now, Xana had ordered Uber Eats at like 4 o'clock in the morning. So they were up. They were up because they could tell that they were scrolling on their phone. So the night that the murders happened, they said it happened anywhere between like 4:04 and 4:16, roughly. But they had an order at 4 a.m., right? So they believe that the first people were murdered. So here's how the house is. It's a 3-story house. The first house is a roommate, or the first floor is a roommate. The second floor is Xana and Ethan, and then another roommate. And then a third floor is where Kaylee and Madison were sleeping. And then on the opposite side was her dog. Okay. So he comes in through the back door. He goes all the way up. And this is why I think that they believe that these two were murdered first.
It was second story. He went into the back door on the second story. Yep.
Okay. The sliding door.
Yep.
And then he goes up and he stabbed Kaylee and Madison, right?
In their sleep or what?
In their sleep.
Okay.
One of them fought back, though, I thought, right?
Yep. And that's why the roommate below thought that she heard one of them playing with the dog, because she heard like ruckus, and she thought somebody was playing with the dog. He stabs them, but leaves his sheath on the bed or near the bed, right?
Interesting.
Now, supposedly this sheath was pretty new and it had like a Marine Corps insignia. So if you know sheaths, the buttons, they're really hard to push in. So you really got to put some force into it, right? And that'll be significant later on. But so then he goes downstairs to the second floor and he goes into Ethan and Xana's room and is going, murdering them. The roommate hears something. She goes and opens up her door, doesn't see anything, closes the door again, and then she hears, "Don't be scared. I'm here to help you." Okay? She goes back out to open up the door in the hallway. She sees him walking down the hallway towards her.
You have goosebumps on your arm saying this shit. That's
I know.
crazy.
Because I could just visualize it, right?
Yeah.
She sees him walking down the hallway. She says he looks like a tall, slender built, slightly athletic build, taller, but he has a ski mask on. You can't see nothing but his eyebrows. She said that they were bushy eyebrows, right? He walks right by her. And so when she's walking towards her, she can't move. She's like frozen in place, right? Mm-hmm. He walks right by her, then he leaves, okay? When he came to the house, he shut his cell phone off before he left Washington State. He shut his cell phone off. When he left the house, he turned it back on. So he shut his cell phone off at 2 a.m. He turned his cell phone back on. This is how they can kind of pinpoint the timeline. He turned it back on around 4:30, but his car, they pinged it, was like miles south of the town. And so he kind of did a weird roundabout way to get back to where he lived, right?
They're saying he was doing that. This podcast said he did that to avoid any like cameras that might be on the main roads, basically.
Yep, but he really fucked himself.
Yeah.
Regardless, but
they also say he was casing the place for like the first hour. No, even like right before, an hour before, he was just doing blocks.
He drove by 4 times, I think it was. He drove by the house 4 times. He was probably waiting for them to come home, is my guess.
Which is insane, because that just like, well, go ahead. You can go ahead and finish if you got any more.
So he leaves and goes back home, right? Here's the weird part that I never heard an explanation. Clearly, she saw somebody coming out of that room, right? The roommate. And I'm not blaming her. Like, I'm sure she's freaking traumatized. But nobody called 911 until noon the next day. And the 911 call was several different people trying to explain to the police that someone's unconscious.
Yeah, they said she's unconscious and we were drinking last night. That's what they said.
But
so the girl that saw him walk out, she didn't call the cops right away?
No.
Why?
I don't know.
They say, so the podcast that I was listening to, they said that she opened the door the second time, saw a black silhouette. Basically, she heard him say that before she opened the door. Opened the door, saw that, shut the door, locked it. So I don't know which is true, but either way, yeah, she didn't call the cops. So
That's crazy.
Until 11:58 the next morning, right? So
but they called other people though. That's the thing.
They were trying to get a hold of the roommates, but the roommates obviously weren't responding. So they called a bunch of their friends, and I think they were scared, right? But why would you not call 911 right away?
Yeah, I would call
right?
911
and
right away.
and especially like,
But also, I don't blame them. Also, that is the thing. I mean,
but there was a lot of blood.
Yeah,
There was a lot of blood.
you can't not have a lot.
There
of
was
blood with that.
like, it was coming out of the wall, outside you could see it. So that to me is strange. I don't know. I never got an explanation. I've watched a couple different documentaries on it.
That makes the fact that he gives no motive or no explanation even worse.
But that just
Like,
goes to
talk
show.
about leaving people in a complete state of like.
But here's the
no
interesting part.
It
Here's the
wasn't
interesting
random.
part.
There's no way.
Here's the interesting part. Supposedly, I think it was Kaylee had complained to her dad about somebody that was stalking her, right? Their house was known as a huge party house. They would have parties there all the time. Sometimes they would have parties and they weren't even there. There was people partying in their house, right? So clearly this kid or this dude, this piece of shit, knew the layout of the house,
Mm-hmm.
right? So he's probably casing the place over time, knew the layout of the house, right? So he leaves. They call 911. Okay. They lock it down. There's cops everywhere, right? A couple weeks go by and people are pissed. And I remember when this happened. People were pissed off. Like, what the fuck are the cops doing? Like, how do you not know? You got a freaking sheath. So the problem is that they ran the DNA, but there was no, because if you don't have a record, it's not going to pop.
Yeah.
Right? It's not going to pop. So people were pissed off, and rightfully so, obviously. But the cops were working in the background, but some lady that worked at a gas station took it upon herself to go and review her own security tapes of the night in question. And sure enough, she saw a white Elantra drive by the gas station around that time, gave it to the police and FBI. And so they put on a bolo, be on the lookout for a white Elantra, roughly 2014 to 16 or something like that. And I don't know how much later it was, but there was a white Elantra that was parked at Washington State in the campus apartments there, parked out in the parking lot. And one of the security officers that worked there reported the car, said, "Hey, we got a white Elantra." They pull up the license plate. Sure enough, Brian Kohlberger, his picture, big bushy eyebrows popped up, right? They're like, holy shit. This might be the guy. Okay. So now we're about a month into the investigation. It's becoming Christmas break, right? So Christmas break is happening. So what happens is Brian Kohlberger's dad flies out to Washington State and they're going to road trip back to Pennsylvania. Okay. On their way, this fucking idiot gets pulled over for tailgating somebody. Okay. The cops, and I believe that the FBI was tailing him. Okay. But they didn't say anything to the police, right? The cops pulled him over for tailing and let him go. 10 minutes later, another cop pulls him over for tailing and they let him go. And you can see the body cam footage. Like, he's just like, oh, fuck. They got me, So they let him go and they drive back to Pennsylvania. The FBI are sitting outside of his house and they're watching him and he's scrubbing down his car with cleaner, scrubbing everything. Then they notice that he's taking their trash and putting it in the neighbor's trash bin. Okay. So the FBI, they got a warrant. They go and get his trash. They dump out the trash. They found a Q-tip. It was his dad's Q-tip, and it was 100% match to the DNA sample that they got off the sheath. Got him.
His dad's Q-tip was 100% match?
Because they got the DNA from the sheath, and it matched the Q-tip that they got from the trash. So they matched the DNA. So they know that was him.
Oh,
It was the dad's Q-tip. They know that it wasn't the dad.
Not it wasn't like the dad.
so
but
they did like familial DNA.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the DNA match. Yep.
Got you.
Yep. So about 50 agents stormed his house and went and arrested him. Okay.
That's a crazy fucking story.
Yeah. So they go in and arrest him, and he waives his rights for extradition. So they brought him back to Idaho to face the trial. And yeah, so I'm trying to think of anything other that's significant.
They were saying that one of the theories is that he was a customer at, I think, the Kaylee. I think it was her. One of them worked as a waitress at a restaurant.
Yeah.
And that maybe he got infatuated with her. And
Well, somebody said too that he saw her at a party, grabbed her phone, put his phone number in her phone or something like that. I don't know if that's true. The other part I was going to mention was that so he was a teacher's assistant for his class.
Yep.
And they were talking about the case. And they said that prior to that, he was a very talkative guy. He would talk all the time in class. After that happened, he came in, he looked disheveled. He wouldn't talk at all when they brought it up.
that's interesting.
So
Man, what a world, man. That's so wild.
That is. I never heard of that, honestly, until you brought it up. I was like, who
See, I
is
think
that?
the whole like pulling him over thing, I remember very like vaguely that being talked about. This was years ago though, right? Like
22.
yeah, 2022.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
See, I remember I didn't know what the story was about. I just remember hearing some small details about how like they had pulled him over a couple times but let him go. And I was just like, oh, that's weird. Like, I wonder what's going on, but I didn't think nothing of it.
So the reason why his defense team, they delayed it as long as they could because they wanted to separate the time of the incident to the trial date because they knew that people were asking for the death penalty.
Yeah.
They wanted to fucking kill him, right? Because there were so many people that were pissed off about it. They wanted to kill him. And I think Idaho, they have the death penalty, and I think it's firing squad, if I'm not mistaken.
Really?
Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
I think they have firing squad. But the prosecutors, for some fucking reason, didn't want to go through a trial, and so they just made a deal, life sentence times 4.
The deal should have included a motive.
Yeah.
For
Which
sure.
I'm telling you, like I've been,
That'd be cool.
I'm kind of fascinated with serial killers. I watch Mindhunter and stuff. I think that this guy, he's going to be singing like a fucking canary. He's going to want to get down and do a documentary or something and explain his
That's
story.
what it sounds like.
Once he gets comfortable in prison, he's going to look for his notoriety.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
molested?
I agree.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's he can't
No,
say
like
that
once he
word.
gets adapted to being there,
Oh, he's gonna
gonna
get
get
hurt
bored and be
so
like, "Oh, I
bad,
need
though.
some attention now." You know what I mean?
But my question, like,
he
I-
wanted to learn all of that. Of course, he's gonna want to
Yeah.
follow in the footsteps. That's what it
isn't that
seems like.
crazy?
Yeah,
He
which
studied it, but then he
What's
studied.
crazy is that it's like you and Laura.
yeah,
You know, you guys both study this shit. You watch.
you
all
know
this,
it inside and out.
It's
No,
always
but
just
crazy.
a matter of time.
He
Yeah.
studied that stuff, but look how many mistakes he made.
Only really one or two.
No, they caught his car on a freaking ring camera.
He made a lot of mistakes. Yeah.
He left his sheath there.
From what
He
I
left-
understand-
a witness saw him.
From what I understand is if he could have killed the girl. He should have not left his sheath there, and if he didn't leave the sheath there,
You're seeing a lot of mistakes here.
that's 2 mistakes. He didn't have to kill the girl. It didn't matter. She didn't know who he was.
Yeah, she identified this up.
Yeah, that's not good proof. That's not gonna
That's
hold
how
up.
got his
They
ass.
ID'd him
They ID'd
from his eyebrows.
no.
yeah.
They ID'd him from the sheets with the DNA.
well, that was to get
Well, yeah, that
convicting
was hard
evidence.
evidence, but they had,
Exactly.
they were suspicious it was him when they got the
that
eyebrows.
means
thing.
nothing.
They locked it in when they
That
got
means
his.
nothing.
They
That's
locked
not
it
how
in.
you prove somebody
They
innocent
locked-
No, that's
they
or
locked
guilty.
it
that's
in.
not what they used to prove him. That they used the sheath for that.
Yeah, exactly.
But they caught on to him by the eyebrows when they found the car.
He
and
made
then
a
they,
lot of
and then they were like,
mistakes.
"Oh, look, he has bushy eyebrows," like the witness explained. This might be our guy. Then they had to find the hard evidence on him. So that was his first mistake, though.
Not only
He should've
that,
trimmed
but he
his
drove
eyebrows,
by
bro.
there.
He should've
Fucking.
trimmed his eye.
He drove
Same
by
with
there.
Luigi, the other guy.
Yeah, the
Dude,
eyebrows.
he drove by there 4 times that night.
That is a problem.
And it was like, I think they said it was like 12 times since June he drove by there.
It's a busy road, dude.
So he was clearly casing the place, right?
I buy
so
NDSU all the
wild.
time on my bike. I'm like riding motorcycle all day. Maybe that's his ride. I love going down that one way.
It
dude.
almost makes me wonder if he wanted to get caught.
That's what it seems like, though. That's what he wants to get the notoriety. That's why the people were so aggressive with him and saying those things.
Because I think I heard somewhere he was obsessed with Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy got more famous after he was, put to death.
A lot of people have gotten a lot more famous over. That's why I always have known that as a fact is if you just do one crazy thing, you'll become famous. Yeah. You might not be famous for long, but you'll be famous. Yeah. You'll be more well known than I will as a regular person dying.
Oh, for sure.
Than
logically speaking, that makes perfect sense.
That's crazy to think.
Well, in closing, I wish that they should honestly, people like that should get the electric chair. It should not be over.
You shouldn't be allowed to make a plea deal in these kinds of cases.
Not
bro.
in 4 life sentences. That's insane.
All these innocent lives taken, the detriment that caused, and they're like, let's make it. This is what I hate about our justice system, right? It's like we've talked about this before. Attorneys aren't out for your best interest; they're out to protect their record.
Yep.
So they will always find a way to make a deal in the middle so that nobody takes a loss on their record, bro. Because no one wants an attorney that has 6 losses and like 2 wins, right? Nobody wants an attorney that has any multitude of losses. Everyone wants the attorney that always wins. And the way you keep that record is you make fucking plea deals. And the plea deal, like we've been victims of that, right? With Thomas Hastad, who stole all that money from us. Yep. He got a plea deal because, and it was no longer about us. They didn't ask us our opinion. They didn't ask if it was okay. They didn't do none of that, bro. They protected their record by making a plea deal. They took $40,000 off the bill to Thomas to plead guilty to it. That's crazy to me.
It was.
Like, to me, that's like saying, fuck you, the victim. You get no say-so in this. We got a reputation to protect.
Here's your $20.
It's crazy, bro. It's crazy the way the legal system works.
It is absolutely crazy.
And the fact that, it should be a conflict of interest to protect your record, bro. Yep. The truth should be the truth.
I think it's insane that somebody can make a payment plan towards somebody. And this
it only cost this dude $270,000 to kill a bunch of people, bro. That's wild.
That doesn't make any sense.
The cost of murder is really cheap.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
It doesn't make any sense. Like you should not be able to create a payment plan to pay somebody after you stole from them.
I think we should have eye for an eye penalties.
In cold blood too, 4 people, that you do have to die. You have to die by getting punched to death. That's what they should do.
Yeah, it should be torture.
And
it should be public. It should be on pay-per-view, and everyone should be able to witness it, and all the proceeds from the pay-per-view should go to the victims' families.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like 100%.
Holy shit, they would get so much money.
But imagine, bro, the fear it would instill in people to commit the similar crimes down the line. Like child molesters, pedophiles, bro, they should be publicly tortured, murdered, hung, whatever it is, dealt with publicly so that every other pedophile in the world that watches that has fear instilled in them, knowing if I ever get caught, it's not going to be a slap on the wrist. It's not going to be a protection order. It's not going to be none of this nonsense. You go on some registry or no bullshit. You're a dead man and everyone gets to watch it happen, bro. Yep.
Yeah, when we were in Italy, in Venice, they had these 2 statues that hung up right over the water, basically, and then the little square of the city was, the little square of the island was right there, basically. And then over here you have these 2 statues, and they would hang people up on the statues after they killed them in the public square, and just right over the water, just a crazy view. And I was like, that's wild. That's really, it's cool. Insane. That's what they should do, but it's something. This situation is. It just provokes more violence in the sense of somebody's going to copy this or somebody's going to look up to this. Or
that's what I'm saying, man. You got a freaking prison justice.
That is true.
Yeah, but even then, they get PC'd up in prison, bro. Yeah. Pedophiles and people like this, they get protective custody, and there's no justice in prison. I know they talk about how they mark pedophiles and they put them in prison, but man, most of them get protective custody.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the way it works. They got to protect those guys. Sometimes the guards are dirty enough where they'll let these people get touched, but other than that, they're usually protected, man. So it's unfortunate.
That is crazy.
I would definitely make it my life's mission to buy somebody to take them out.
Oh, I thought you were going to say clap cheeks of but if you were like in jail,
that's
in
not
prison.
A good thing. What the fuck? Clap cheeks with
Of they don't want to get I don't think.
I think most of them were at some point.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't know.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I'd be interested to figure out this guy's story though. If
Yeah.
he lines up with like other serial killers that like usually it's abuse in the home.
Yeah.
Growing up.
I don't know about that. Serial killer from being abused?
Dude, that is literally their MO.
That's crazy.
They've either been physically abused or sexually abused. Almost 9 times out of 10.
That's insane.
Why? Are you saying because you're not a serial killer?
I know. I didn't get abused, bro. Not physically, at least. So.
Sexually?
Mm-mm.
All right. Let's switch gears a little bit here. That's kind of a sad story. So let's jump into something a little bit less sad, but also intriguing. So let's talk about Thailand's Reverend Buddhist order being rocked.
Another name for booty.
Yeah. A woman allegedly seduced senior monks, captured intimate moments, and extracted millions of dollars in hush payments. But now that it's exposed, why is everyone looking the other way? So here's the scandal. In mid-July 2025, authorities arrested Willawan Msawat, 35, also known as Miss Golf, on charges of extortion, money laundering, and receiving stolen goods after a high-ranking monk abruptly renounced his role and then left the country. Police discovered tens of thousands, estimated at least 80,000 explicit photos and videos documenting sexual encounters with at least 9 senior monks.
Wow.
Authorities say she received approximately 385 million baht, which is around $11.9 million over 3 years in blackmail payments, most reportedly spent on online gambling.
What?
At least 9 senior monks and abbots were defrocked or voluntarily stepped down. Others remain under investigation. The Shin Sangha Supreme Council has initiated a special committee to review disciplinary codes, and the government is pushing for tougher monastic oversight and greater financial transparency in temples. King Vajiralongkorn revoked royal titles from dozens of implicated monks. Critics argue this scandal exposes systemic hypocrisy and corruption within Thai Buddhism, from unchecked temple donations to the suppression of whistleblowers. Cultural criticism highlights how deep-rooted sexism in religious narratives casts women as tempters, even when monks break vows. Women, like Miss Golf, are often vilified more harshly than the monks. Some theorize there may be larger networks or partners involved, given the scale of transactions and digital media discovered. When monks, expected to be paragons of purity, fall, who holds them accountable? Is Miss Golf the only one or the most visible figure in a broader corruption ring? And does this scandal show how temple wealth and power go unchecked? Why was the digital evidence never disclosed earlier, and what else remains hidden? Willawan Msawat is now facing criminal charges, but Thailand's Buddhist order is enduring a far deeper crisis. Without real institutional reform, one woman's case might just be the tip of a hidden iceberg.
First off, why do monks need so much damn money?
Yeah, that's what I was
right.
I thought
Like,
they were
where does
supposed
that
to
kind
live
of
off of like
right?
nothing.
Yeah.
Right. And then also the people that pay the money up to protect all the monks, they've now gone against everything they believe in religiously as an organization, if you will, which that's another crazy thing. Also, I thought monks were supposed to be like ironclad, solid, mentally tough, you can't break them type mentality.
Women will do that though.
Once that booty comes
women
around.
are dangerous.
Women
bro.
will do that.
Yeah.
Especially
And that's
if they're
why they
double-cheeked
vilify
up,
them.
huh, Cody?
She was double cheeked up.
They vilify them, and I think that's not wrong.
Yeah.
Like
Women are devils, bro.
they are.
I believe it's Judaism that says Eve was the real devil. Eve was the tempter. She was the Satan that we speak of. That's what Judaism. If I'm not mistaken, I could be way wrong, so don't quote me. But someone told me that who practices Judaism, that Eve was actually the devil. She
Dude,
was
I thought monks just lived in mountains and freaking
stood on one foot.
yeah. And just
I didn't know they had
sat
money
there
like that.
crisscross applesauce for
got
hours.
a lot
Stay
of money.
quiet.
Yeah, they got a lot of money. But
Clearly.
but seriously, this is
She embezzled $11.9 million from them in
Yeah.
hush money, bro, and then just was playing online gambling with it.
But
There's probably nothing else to do over there.
Doesn't this remind you of the Catholics too?
Yes, of course. Yes, this is totally that.
Birds of a feather.
Catholics?
What it reminds me of
Like
is
taking money like
what-
that?
Here's what it
The
reminds
money, the corruption,
the sexual
the
corruption.
hiding
yeah.
I mean, theirs is a
priests.
little
I mean, it's
worse.
pedophilia
Hiding
and
priests.
all that, though. But yeah,
Yeah, that's way worse. But it's corruption, money.
Yeah, but lots of people do some stuff for a girl.
Well,
you
why
know?
the fuck do they have that much money?
I don't know why they have that much money, but it's the girl that's the
Pure
main part.
corruption.
yeah. But here's the thing: like, this is what brings into question, right? It's always like the epitome of religious groups, like the pastors and the you know what I mean, the Buddhist
Main
monks and
ones.
the preachers and all the people who run the organizations that turn out to be some of the most corrupt and evil people, which is one of the things that I think scares people the hell away from religion, man.
Yeah.
It for me, it took me out of the church, right? Because my old church here in Fargo, River City, the pastor's wife, the wife of our lead pastor at the church, was a teacher in West Fargo. I can't remember which school it is. Maybe it was the is there like a what's the name? Something L or
Oh, the elementary school?
yeah, but it's called something like Ellieberg.
Ellie Burger.
Ellie Berger, yeah, Ellie Berger. I believe that's where she worked, if I'm not mistaken. But she ended up having sex with a 14-year-old boy at that school, and then got in trouble and went to prison for
Oh,
it.
that's
And
not-
our lead pastor said that God wanted him to stand by her side, and that him and his kids were gonna pack up and move to Montana to be near where she was in prison, and that he was gonna wait for her to get out and make things right and all that. But like
She
that,
must have been at a middle school.
bro,
then.
it was
14.
maybe it was a middle school. Yeah, I don't know what Ellie
Yeah.
Berger is, but it was a West Fargo school. I know that. In any case, that kind of stuff, bro. Like that's what I was so about that church. I thought that was the dopest church. They spoke pure theology. It wasn't all this feel good sensationalism and stuff that makes people want to go to church. It was super just theological, scripture teaching right out of the Bible, bro. And it was smart. It was good. I loved it. And then that happened, and everyone was like supporting and being like, "Oh," and I'm just like, "No, like, what do you mean? This is the pastor's wife." And so I haven't been to another church since, bro. I almost refuse to go into a church now. I just can't do it, bro. I'd rather watch online sermon than go into a church, because I don't want to get connected to people like that, because it's been my experience.
Yep.
I have a couple, pastor friends and stuff too, who have turned out to be complete wicked, horrible, corrupt people. And I'm just like, it's always it's always the ones that you think are the best of the best when it comes to their faith and their religion. They're so on point and they never fall, and they're scripturally accurate all the time, and then they turn out to be some of the most evil and dark people. And I'm just like, even my cousin, like I told you guys, that turned out to be a serial pedophile, bro. They called him the North County Creeper. The last couple years before he got busted for this, he became a crazy, like, Bible thumping he was reading, the Bible. He was reading Christian books. He was following different theologians, like Billy, I can't think of his name right now, but there's like Billy Graham, like really well-known, renowned, like pastors of, the past like 20 years type stuff, just into it, bro, like really into it, and was posting on social media about it all the time. Meanwhile, he's a serial molester, breaking into people's houses while their kids are sleeping and molesting little girls in their bedrooms at night, bro. Like, what? You know what I mean? His girlfriend, he messed with her daughter, and they were like together since high school, bro. Like, he was supposed to love this little girl like his own child, right? The police, the detectives, when they contacted her, because she was just like, she didn't want nothing to do it. She was like, no, there's no way. And they were like, you need to see this. And they showed her stuff that was in his phone and said, you need to like turn on him. You need to take a stance. You need to press charges, and all this, because they showed her videos that he had in his phone. And they told her to go get tested for like, STDs and all that stuff, because they had videos in his phone, bro. This is my blood cousin, keep in mind, a dude I loved and I trusted with my own daughter, homie, like my whole entire life, growing up with him. And they showed her videos of him having sex with other men in his phone, kids and animals.
Yeah.
Like sick in the like. If this dude died, I could care less. I want him to. You know what I mean? That's how bad I feel betrayed and how much I hate him. But these people who this is what I think it's almost what makes me scared to like truly confess my faith in God and my love for, like, yes, I'm a believer, bro, but I don't know any truth. Yeah. It's all based on faith. But I'm afraid to truly dive in because I do not want to be compared to the people who really stand by their faith and who just preach from the top of a mountain all day, every day. That's all you see. And you think, man, they're such a sound, good, godly person. And then they turn out to be some of the most wicked, evil people, bro. It's bad. I don't know why it's like that, but it is. And this is a fine example.
When I was growing up in the Catholic Church, they brought in a pastor. I can't remember. He was from an African country.
They brought him, look at me like that. That's crazy.
They brought him up. They brought him up to, do the sermons and whatnot for a period of time. Whatever it was, maybe a year stretch. They busted him for stealing money, stealing the collection.
There you go.
The other pastor here in town, I won't say the church because I don't have any proof, but I was told that they moved him to another church, and I don't know what happened.
That's crazy.
I've not had an experience like that. Always went to the nice churches.
As far as you know.
Just old people.
As far as you know.
I never donated any money to them like that.
That's usually the old ones too.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. It throws me off, man. I just I don't understand why it always turns out to be. Maybe there's something behind it. Maybe the devil's truly attacking the ones closest to God, and that's where it ends up coming of it. I don't know. But even then, if that's the case, I'm just gonna pretend I'm halfway in, halfway out. So the devil leave me the fuck alone. I don't know, bro. Like, but something's got to give there. It blows my mind. And I mean, if a Buddhist monk, one of the, these are some of the most solid people who believe in their spirituality, bro. Who
supposed to be,
who live a life of solitude, bro. Yep. Like they don't have any connection with the world because it's fornication and sin and all this stuff going on. How do you entrap guys like that at the level that she did? It's mind blowing.
I mean, it started with one thing, which was obviously the money of sorts.
Yeah,
somehow.
Sure. But how does money and sex tempt you when it's something you've never lived for, never identified with, and takes such a strong, lifelong stance against, bro?
I don't think these monks are the same monks we're thinking of in our heads, though.
I mean, are there any of them is the question.
I don't. Obviously, these guys have.
It's like the old Catholic schoolgirl thing, right? Like Britney Spears and other women have portrayed Catholic schoolgirls in their videos to be sexy.
Yeah.
Because that's the image that everyone has of a Catholic schoolgirl. There's some of the, through experience, through knowledge and knowing, there's some of like the most, how do I word this? Yeah, sure. Scandalous. There's some of the most scandalous girls in the world, these Catholic girls. They're known, I was going to say, promiscuous. They're very promiscuous girls, and it's almost like because it's something they can't have, they're told they're not supposed to, they're told it's bad, and so it makes them want it more. I don't know. But it just seems to be the consensus, man, and that's kind of one of the things that steers me around certain religious aspects of life, bro. It's just like, okay, I believe, and I want to believe that Jesus is the way, but like, also, I'm going to say, look, if he died for my sins, I should be okay living the life I live, and I'm not going to go too much further into it.
Yeah.
And I could be way wrong for doing that, bro. I don't know. But no one knows. Even the ones saying, oh, that's bad, you shouldn't, you should live this way for God. It's just like, how do you know, though?
Mm-hmm.
How do you know? We don't.
You don't? Not one
don't
bit.
know.
And you won't know until it's too late.
Yeah, but when I see stuff like this, man, and I've experienced it firsthand with church and people that I've been close to, I'm just like, yeah, no way. I don't ever want to fall into that category. I don't want to be tempted that way. I don't want to be challenged with my faith by committing so hard that the devil wants to come and attack me like that, bro. Like, I don't want to become that, bro, because I've had a blood family member. The guy, he was in my rap group with me, bro. We would have taken that dude around the world with us. Who knows what we would have gotten caught up in with him, and it would have looked like it was a crew thing instead of just him. You know what I mean? It's no coincidence that the only way that I left the group, and I left it like on a whim, bro. We were about to go on tour, and I was just like, I'm done. The only way I did that was because I gave my life to God because my dad had died and I was losing my mind. So I always look at it like it was a God thing, bro. Mm-hmm. Like, I gave my life to God. God said, come here, come to me, man, because you need to right now. There's something coming. And I gave my life to God after being somebody who just didn't even, I used to be like, I don't even believe in God, bro. Like, look at the world, the devil's, strong and powerful. How could there be a God? Like, I used to say dumb shit like that. And then I gave my life to God because I'd hit rock bottom when my dad died. And literally that following summer, this fool got arrested and was dubbed the North County Creeper.
That's insane.
Yeah, I believe there was like 18 victims over a 2012 summer.
Jesus.
So was that God protecting me? Maybe, but I was a wretch. Why would God protect me? Maybe it's because he means it when he says, come as you are, don't conform, don't become this fictitious person, don't act like you're perfect. I think that's the point of Jesus dying on the cross for us, bro. And I'm no theologian, but it feels that way.
Yeah.
Because I can say with great certainty, I'm not an evil, wicked person in that regard. I've done some bad things in my life, but most of it as a product of my society. I've always had a conscience about the bad stuff I've done. I've always had remorse. I've always wanted to steer clear. I'm a protector of children and women. I'm not an abuser. I'm not a beater. I'm not a molester. I have children of my own that I would die for, bro, and I'm a lover and a protector in that manner. So I know I'm not that kind of a person, and that's my piece, bro.
Yeah.
But I'm scared to get so close to God that the devil wants to tempt me harder, and it's because I see stuff like this happen.
Right.
It's dark and it's evil, bro, and I gotta steer clear.
Yeah, I can't say I've ever met somebody who I believed was so holy in my life, honestly. Other than my great grandmother, I'd say she is the person closest to being like someone that I know has just
my grandma was the same though,
just an unbreakable faith, and like I look up to that from her, and I know that she's gone through a lot in her life, and so like I'm like, dude, if she can do it, and she lives this way, I feel comfortable with the way I live.
I've told you guys the stories of my grandma and her faith, and like her prayer stories about how God acted on the spot in gang activity and all kinds of stuff with her kids growing up, like, and on her deathbed, bro, she was literally in hospice care at my aunt's house, and she kind of woke up from a sleep, but her eyes were still closed, and she was reaching up her hand up, and she kept saying, no, they're not ready yet, to give me more time. And then she lived like another couple months or something like that, bro. She was supposed to be going, and it was like she saw God in her deep sleep, and he was trying to bring her to, and she asked him not to. Like she was talking about her kids, all my aunts and uncles who were, living horrible lives, bro. She was like, they are not ready. Give me more time.
No, it's pretty insane how that works.
That's a wild story. But yes, why are grandmas like that? I don't understand, bro. Like the purity of those times, maybe because now everything's just so corrupted and just wrong. I don't know. It's crazy.
It's insane. My grandma who passed more recently, just like I think it was last year at this point. Maybe it was 2 years ago. It's really hard to keep track right at the moment, but it was Thanksgiving. I'm pretty positive. We all went out to say hi, and she was not doing well. She was on hospice at home, and everybody went and said hi. She couldn't even, I hardly talked to her. I just gave her a hug. That was it. And she was in a different room than everybody else and whatnot. We leave, get a call at like 6 a.m. She's gone. Like, but she didn't seem like she was gonna die that night, but she was just at peace at that point. And so it's kind of odd how that works, how the human mind just is fighting just to have that one last good moment, and then you go when you're ready. And that's true. I hope to go that way. That's the best way to go, I feel like.
I'm gonna live forever.
I don't think so.
I'm trying.
Yeah, you guys want to live forever.
Neuralink,
I don't get
baby.
that, bro.
Neuralink, baby.
I'm good. I'm going out 60,
Cyborgs.
65, 66 when you guys are. I'm going to be going to your graves. I'm going to be like, hey, guys, with another episode of Red Tape Talk. I'll keep it up, dude.
Let's go. I'm down. You guys better learn how to use this equipment. Yeah. All right, let's finish off on this one. I got another interesting one. Kind of ties into everything we've been talking about a little bit. So let's look at this. In the Matrix, the only way to escape was through a landline. Payphones and hardwire phones were the lifeline back to reality. But since the film dropped in 1999, what's happened? Cell phones took over, payphones vanished, landlines became obsolete, and maybe, just maybe, that wasn't by accident. What if the tech takeover wasn't just convenience, it was containment? So here's the Matrix blueprint from 1999. In the film, landlines were the only exit. Unplugging required a stable, hardwired connection. Symbolic? Maybe. Prophetic? Possibly. Phones weren't just tools, they were tethers to truth. And now they're gone. So here's a real world timeline. In 1999, The Matrix premieres. Roughly 94% of homes had landlines. In 2024 to 2025, less than 25% of U.S. households have one. Payphones are virtually extinct. New York City removed its last one in 2022. Cell phones became lifelines, but also 24/7 surveillance devices, EMF transmitters, data collection hubs, and AI behavioral feedback loops. What replaced the exit? Landlines were analog, untraceable, and decentralized. Smartphones are digital, traceable, and embedded into the system. Instead of an exit, they became a leash. Constant dopamine drip, biometric ID tracking, digital dopamine addiction, and real-time geolocation. The simulation tightens. Now we carry our own leash willingly. You are tracked, manipulated, fed a curated feed. Instead of unplugging, you are plugged in deeper than ever. Even conspiracy content is algorithmically filtered, so they know what version of rebellion you prefer. So if the landline was the metaphorical exit, did we kill the escape route by embracing smartphones? Did they teach us how to get out in the matrix and then close the door while we were watching? Is there still a way to unplug, or did they delete the access point entirely? They told us how to escape through the hardwired, through the connection that couldn't be monitored or rerouted, and right after we learned the truth, they sold us the trap disguised as freedom. The exits are gone, and now the question is, do you still think you are free? I should have said that in my, not Neo voice, but what's the other guy's name?
I've never seen The Matrix.
You've never seen The Matrix?
Oh my God, dude.
Holy hell, I wish we wouldn't have even covered this topic.
Nice.
I can't believe you've
I
never
was
seen
gonna
that.
say-
Morpheus voice. That's what I was
yeah.
going to say. My Morpheus voice. Yeah, so I just thought that was an interesting, it's obviously a conspiracy theory, or is it? I
It's
don't
good.
know.
I mean,
But
that's
it's a really cool theory because it just got me thinking. I saw a meme on that and I was like, damn, I got to dig into this a little bit more.
So if you believe in the simulation theory, it's kind of
Right. It's,
no, I
along
fully
the line.
understand.
and they
what
say,
it's about.
here's the other thing. I've told you guys this before. The lady who wrote The Matrix, the books, said that, and she also wrote Terminator, and she said that Terminator is what happened after The Matrix, if you look at it in the timeline. And it's crazy if you go back and watch the movies like that. But yeah, I mean, The Matrix showed us a lot, bro. And now in theory, everything kind of fits to the way that movie worked. You know, the woman in the red dress, bro. You know what I mean? Like, that's a real thing that exists to us right now. Everything is the woman in the red dress that we're experiencing right now. All the stuff happening with Donald Trump and the Epstein list and all these other distractions that they keep throwing out. These are the women in the red dress to us, the distractions that they keep putting in front of us to deter our attention from the things that truly matter, right? The ability to escape the matrix. Now that we're so connected through these devices, that everything is here, right? I saw a statistic the other day. They did a study that showed the average human being in their entire lifetime will spend 20 years of their life staring into their fucking phones.
That's insane.
20 years of your life, bro. Imagine how much life is lost. Imagine how much less of a connection kids get to have
Dude,
with
that
their...
makes me so depressed.
Bro, it's disgusting because we're all guilty of it, first of all, bro. It's disgusting.
Dude, I can't even watch a fucking Netflix show
Bro,
without scrolling.
20 fucking years of your
Don't even
life.
act like you don't fucking do that.
If I'm like watching a movie, bro,
I bet you scroll when you fucking eat, sleep, and fucking
dude, that's
shit.
insane. How many people eat and scroll on their
Yeah,
phones at the
we
same
are
time? I can't do
but
that.
that's us. We're locked in the matrix, bro.
Yeah.
Fucking locked in.
That we're locked in and there's no escaping anymore, bro. They've taken the things that would help. Like when we had landlines, and I don't know how much you remember of that, Dion, as a kid, but
Not a
I
ton.
grew up with that shit, right? I'm one of the people that has seen both parts of the world, and I can say with great certainty, bro, this is all a trap.
Yeah.
And as someone who's trapped in it, it's such a hard thing to deny
I could
and
tell.
to escape. You know what I mean? So it's like this theory seems very realistic. You know, in theory, it's kind of spot on. But then when you think about the fact that we are going to waste 20 years of our life on our phones, bro. That's a lot of time, bro. I have a son who's almost 20 years old. So his entire life could have been accredited to me just being on my phone and not raising him.
That's crazy.
That's a scary thing to think, bro. And it makes me really want to start doing work to like change that,
on
right?
it.
And one of the things that I do lately, bro, is when I don't want to be distracted by this phone, I do that. They say if you turn the lights, the color off on your phone and make it black and white, it's not tempting. It doesn't draw you in and make you, oh, look, I got messages. You can ignore it a lot easier if you just make it black and white. And then when I want it to be active so I can use it, I just turn it back on.
Oh,
Interesting. It's a good idea.
But it's little tools like that I'm learning because I'm like, that disgusts me, bro. That makes me sick to my stomach
disturbing.
To think that I'm going to waste 20 years of my life on my phone. And that's the average human. So people are, I don't even use it. You're full of shit.
Yeah.
You don't realize.
You do.
If you go and look at the time spent on your phone and it tracks it, you'll be shocked.
Dude, mine's insane. Mine's
bad.
absolutely. Mine's mostly like YouTube podcast playing or
Right,
Spotify
sure.
playing, but still, that's just as bad.
We
yeah.
didn't watch TV that much when we were younger, bro. Now that it's on our phone, we watch it 10 times as much as we ever would have. And that's why the Netflixes and all these other things exist, because you will have endless opportunity to be staring at shit on your phone, bro.
And you think of it, they're literally just selling us.
Yeah.
They're selling us like you're listening
They're
to
locking
ads.
us
You're
in, bro.
Yeah.
It's the lady in the red dress, homie.
Yeah.
It's the lady in the red dress.
That just goes to show how unfree we are. We're
but
literally
don't stop
sold.
watching our show, guys. Like,
Yeah.
at least if you're gonna be on your phone, at least watch
Like,
our
subscribe,
shit.
share.
Hell yeah, man. But yeah, I thought that was crazy. I thought that was a good note to end on because I want people to think a little bit too.
John, let's not forget that the two that wrote and directed the movie turned into trans.
Yes, they did.
Turned into trans.
The guys that directed The Matrix are both trans men now.
They're brothers.
They were girls?
Or no, they're trans women, I should say. Yeah.
They
I don't know
were
how
men-
that
they
shit
were
works,
men
and I'm
that-
not trying to learn it.
Men that turned into women.
Yeah. So that's kind of weird too, right? But yeah, I don't know. Crazy times, crazy shit going on. These were some fun topics though, man. I thoroughly enjoyed not touching on politics so heavily. So
Weird.
we got to keep this path. There's a lot of creative things and really cool things out there that we can
Yeah.
look into. Are you looking at those trans dudes now?
Yeah.
Isn't that weird that happened though? Like, what makes that?
And they're not even like regular trans. They're like goofy hair.
Well, they were nerds before. Now they're just nerdy women.
Weird.
Uh.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it is. Well, appreciate you guys for checking us out. That ends the show for today. But don't forget to like, subscribe, share the channel. Tell your friends about us. Don't tell your friends about us. Talk good, talk bad. It doesn't really matter as long as you are talking about us.
They're siblings.
Yes, they are.
That's insane.
Peace.